Hello, today we're going to learn how to create mood portraits by using Bridge and Photoshop. Although mine are not mood pictures, they're nature pictures. You can do this with any assignment where you want to create a really pretty grid. What you're going to do first, obviously, is take your photos and upload them. And we are going to start by choosing what pictures we want to use and then putting them into a folder. So when I'm in Bridge, I like using the rating system to narrow down my pictures. You can use whatever system works for you. In this case, I'm going to make a 6 photo grid. So out of my photos, I need to choose the 6 that I want to use for my assignment. In order for this to work, all your pictures need to either be horizontal like this, or all your pictures need to be vertical like this. You cannot mix and match your photos. So make sure when you take your photos, you are consistent with your orientation of your camera. I am going to start by showing you how to do this with the horizontal pictures in Bridge, and then what I'm going to do is select 6 of these photos that I'm going to then copy over to a new folder. So you may have your own method for doing this. I will show you one. But what I like to do is I will hit the control key, and while holding down the control key, choose my 6 photos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to copy these over to a new folder. So again, hold down the control key, click on the photos you want. If you accidentally clicked too many, while holding down the control key, you can also click and unselect a photo till you get the 6 that you want. And then I'm going to copy these over. You can right click on the images, or you can just go to File, Copy To, and I'm going to choose a folder, unless I already see mine in the drop-down list. And I'm going to go to my folder, and I will make a new folder with the name of this project, so Mood Portrait. And I'm going to call mine horizontal so I know, and hit choose. Once you hit choose, it will begin copying over your photos. If I wanted to do the verticals, same thing. Choose the 6 that I want by holding the control key. File, Copy To, choose folder. And make a new folder. So if you want to pause the video now, that would be a good time. Get your pictures selected and get them into a new folder. Now you should have your 6 photos selected in a folder and have that folder opened in Bridge so you can look at your 6 photos. The next thing that you want to do is name them, because if you don't order these in some way, Photoshop is just going to suck them up and put them in whatever order. So what we want to do is decide which layout we like. Again, there's more than one way to do this, but what I'm going to do is just number the pictures from 1 to 6 in the order that I want. So I've already renamed this one number 1. And that will pop it over to number 1. And then I will decide what numbers I like. The way to rename your photos is you can either click on the name and wait a second and it will highlight the name, or you can also just right click on your photo and go down to rename. And I will name this one number 2. and then continue to decide what order I want them in. So right click, rename. I will make this number 3. I will make this one number 4, and so on. So you should pause the video again and go through and rename all your photos so that you end up with them in the order that you want, and then come back. In Bridge, you should now have your 6 photos that you're going to use for the project renamed in the order that you would like to see them arranged in Photoshop. So what you should do is now go and open Photoshop. I already have it open on my computer. And you'll come to the opening page, and we don't need to open any of our photos. What we're going to do is from here, let Photoshop do the work by going up on the very top to File. And then you're going to go down to Automate, which means Photoshop's going to do a series of tasks for you. And you're going to choose Contact Sheet. Now this is different than a Bridge contact sheet because this one's going to look really pretty. So we're going to go to File, Automate, Contact Sheet. This window that pops up is really important for this to work. So let's go over the settings. On the source images side, you just want it to know where your folder is with your 6 photos. So you'll go to Choose, and you'll go to the folder you've just created that has the 6 photos that are in it to use. Now you have to have done this step. It will pull in all the photos from whatever folder you choose. So you can't select from here. You will have had to copy over your final pictures into a folder. And you will hit Open. Make sure Include Subfolders is deselected. So it looks just like this. And then we're going to go down to the document settings. I would assume most of you took your pictures horizontally. So I'll go over a horizontal layout. If you have vertical pictures, meaning pictures that are tall rather than long. So if your pictures are up and down like this, then you should listen to this and skip ahead in the video, and I will tell you the settings for that as well. So under Document, make sure you're in inches, and you're going to choose a width of 10 and a height of 4.5. And again, these are for horizontal pictures like the ones underneath. So 10 inches wide by 4.5 inches high. And the resolution should be 300 pixels per inch. That is the lowest resolution you really want to use if you were to ever print something. We're also going to check here where it says flatten all layers. And what that means is it's going to bring in the 6 pictures and then squish it down into one picture for you when it's done. If you don't do that, you'll end up with 6 different layers. So let's just have it squish it for us, hit flatten all layers. And then we're going to go down here into the thumbnails. Thumbnails mean the little pictures. Where is it going to put them? We're going to have it run across first. So it'll go like you saw it in Bridge with 1, 2, 3. And then it'll go down to the next and go 4, 5, 6. So what we want are 3 columns, right? Because it's going to be 3 pictures across by 2 pictures down. So 3 columns, 2 rows, and check auto spacing. So if you need to pause the video to make sure that these settings match your settings, please do so. Get your settings all set up and then come back and continue to play the video. I'm going to move ahead. Once all these settings are set, you just hit OK, and bam, Photoshop is you'll watch it go, bring in the 6 pictures and flatten it for you into one image. This is a much prettier sheet than you would ever get with Bridge. And essentially, we're using the contact sheet feature to actually make a final image for ourselves. So this is your final picture. Now, for mood portrait pictures, you may want your pictures to be in color, or you may want to turn them black and white. A lot of people like black and white photos for portraits because the color isn't usually as relevant, and when you turn things black and white, you can really see the features of the person pop out and the textures. That is up to you. If you do want to turn it black and white, you can go back and look at my tutorial about the black and white adjustment layers that you can use, or you may know them by now. There are two. There's the black and white adjustment layer in the middle here, where my mouse is. That one is going to let you choose how the colors are dealt with, or you can use the gradient map adjustment layer, which is the last one. You can also get to them at the very bottom. If you prefer to look at them by words, by hitting the circle that is split in half and just choose. And again, the black and white will let you choose how colors are dealt with. Gradient map will just automatically do it. So I'm going to hit gradient map, and my pictures are black and white. Gradient map will create really rich dark colors. If you don't want it as high contrast as this, I suggest playing with the black and white adjustment layer to get it the way you want it. You certainly from here can also do any other adjustments you want, levels if appropriate, and then you will want to save this as a JPEG and turn it in. So I'll go to File, Save a Copy. That's how you get to the JPEG option on my computer. And I will name this and under format, I will choose JPEG. Now you're on a PC probably. The layout may look slightly different from this, but it's going to be very similar. So under format, choose JPEG, hit save, and just make sure that that quality is slid all the way over to the maximum size so you get the best quality possible, and hit OK. And that's it. You'll go turn in your final project. Now, those of you who did vertical pictures, I will go over how to do that as well. So similarly, I will close this just so that you're also at the same place as the beginning. If your pictures are vertical, meaning up and down like this, then the only difference are your dimensions. So we'll go to File, Automate, Contact Sheet. In your case, again, you'll choose your folder. Your 6 pictures are in there. You can hit Open. Make sure Include Subfolders is deselected. Under Document, choose Inches. And instead of it being 10 by 4.5, it will be 4.5 inches by 10 because you want it narrow and tall, just like your pictures are narrow and tall. Your resolution will be 300. You will check Flatten All Layers. And the other difference is the layout, because in this case, you're going to have 2 columns with 3 rows. So you'll have 2 columns and 2 pictures in each. That's 2 columns and 3 down. So those are the differences. You'll flip it 4.5 by 10 for vertical, and the columns will be 2 inches by 3 inches. I'm sorry, 2 pictures by 3 pictures, and you'll hit OK. And it will go through and do the pictures for you, just like before. And you can turn it black and white. And you can go to File. You'll save a copy. And you will save it into your folder. So choose the folder and change this to JPEG under Format. And again, I'm on a Mac. You're probably on a PC. That's fine. Just a slightly different layout, but the same choices. Hit Save. Make sure the slider's all the way over to 12 and hit OK. And you can turn that in as well. That's it. So now you have made your mood portraits.